ceremony that you're about to witness is an Army wreath-laying ceremony to be conducted for Alabama Youth Tour. It is requested that everyone remain silent and standing during this ceremony. All military personnel in uniform will render the hand salute, and it is appropriate for all others to place their right hand over their heart upon the command of present arms. Thank you.
Ready? Step.
I'm from Cherokee County, North Carolina. I know that you're running for governor. You've announced your candidacy for governor in the next election, so I'm going to go state politics right quick, if that's okay. Higher education is big to all of us as we're all rising seniors and we're about to go into college. You had a quote right after it came out that the PAC was failing, that it was another example of how our state's finances have been handled poorly. How would you handle it differently if you were elected governor to better our higher education?
Yeah, let me make sure everybody understands PAC. How many of you know what PAC is? Okay. How many of you all are in the PAC program? Okay. All right. And some of the parents raise their hands. Now, just so everyone knows, 48,000 families in Alabama are in the PAC program. And this is essentially what PAC is. Beginning in 1992 or 1993, Alabama started a program that said to families, invest, set aside money, and the state will manage your money, and this will pay for your college education. And the theory was, well, the stock market would grow and it would rise, and the investments would draw a return, and it would enable families all around the state to be able to meet the rising cost of inflation to go to college. Well, here's what happened. In February of this year, a notice went out to all 48,000 families that said that the PAC fund had lost 46% of its value. The legislature was meeting. They met for several months. There was an effort to find a solution. They didn't come up with a solution, and they adjourned anyway. Now, there are two basic problems here. first one is folks a little bit older than you all who are in college right now. College students right now who've been getting PAC dollars, that's the first priority, making sure that those individuals are able to stay in school. That ought to be a no-brainer. The second priority is dealing with all of you and people younger than you who haven't gotten to college yet, but whose parents set aside money. Now, I propose two things. First thing I proposed is the state ought to guarantee the tuition of everybody who's in college right now as a PAC student. Second thing that the state ought to do is to go to parents like yours who may have invested in the PAC program and give you an option. You can stay in the program and take your chance on the program coming back and the market coming back, or the state will give you a tax, or your parents a tax write-off to match the value of your contribution in the program. Now, there are other ideas people have put on the table, but essentially what that would do is hold harmless families in the program right now who haven't gotten to college and families who are in college. Again, there are other ideas on the table, but I think it's important that the state do something because the state made a promise to people. And those of you who may have talked to your parents about this, what the state promised to do, the state sent out brochures, they sent out solicitations that said, this is a good, safe return on your investment. Well, if your parents were willing to gamble on the stock market, they could have done that on their own. They think the state of Alabama to manage their money, they could have done that themselves. There are a number of private programs where families can set aside money to invest in college. What was supposedly different about the state program was that it was being managed by the government and presumably being managed in a way more beneficial to the investors or the contributors. Well, what we've learned now is that Alabama actually was one of the few programs in the country that got most of its investments from the stock market, several other sources. And we've learned that Alabama is one of the few programs in the country that frankly had as risky a portfolio set up as we did. So that's on the state of Alabama.
Favorite thing about the trip so far?
Play last night was pretty good. Hey, good day. Really good. Today. Yeah, today.
Favorite thing about the trip so far?
Kind of hard to see your phone giving a thumbs up down there. You did.
I don't have